Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this vast world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers Live, page by page reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. So today we're going to get into chapter 30 of the book of Deuteronomy, and this should be pretty interesting. This chapter covers the promise of restoration along with the choice of life or death. So I'm going to go ahead and just start reading. I'll provide my commentary if I feel the need to do so. And I hope all of you out there are having an absolutely lovely weekend because I most definitely am. So here we go. The promise of restoration. When all these things happen to you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, and you remember them among all the nations where the Lord your God has driven you, then you must return to the Lord your God and obey his voice according to all that I am commanding you today. You and your children with all your heart and with all your soul. Then the Lord your God will overturn your captivity and have compassion on you, and will return and gather you from all the nations where the Lord your God has scattered you. If any of you are driven out to the outmost parts of heaven, from there will the Lord your God gather you, and from there he will get you. The Lord your God will bring you to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it. He will prosper you and multiply you more than your fathers. The Lord your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your descendants to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, so that you may live. The Lord your God will put all these curses on your enemies, on them who hate you, who persecuted you. You will return and obey the voice of the Lord and obey all his commandments, which I am commanding you today. The Lord your God will make you prosper in every work of your hand, in the offspring of your body, and in the offspring of your livestock, and in the produce of your land for good. For the Lord will once again rejoice over you for good, just as he rejoiced over your fathers. If you obey the voice of the Lord your God by keeping his commandments and his statutes, which are written in the book of the law, and if you return to the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Okay, so again, basically, this is just saying that God will restore and give to you everything that you're meant to have in this life. Mainly, you just need to obey the simple things that are asked. And it's hard. It is hard to abide by certain things that are deemed as the commandments or as the laws of, that are dictated within this book of Deuteronomy and throughout the Bible. But try and do more than try. Absolutely do. And when you do mess up, acknowledge it, take accountability for it, and don't do it again. So let's continue. The choice of life or death. This commandment, which I am commanding you today, is not hidden from you, nor is it far off. It is not in heaven that you should say, who will go up for us to heaven and bring it to us, so that we may hear it and do it? It is not beyond the sea, so that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us, so that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, so that you may do it. C. Today, I have set before you life and prosperity, and death and disaster. What I am commanding you today is to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, so that you may live and multiply. Then the Lord your God will bless you in the land which you go to possess. But if your heart turns away, so that you do not obey, but are drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, then I declare to you today that you will surely perish, and that you will not prolong your days in the land which you are crossing the Jordan to go in and possess. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both you and your descendants may live, that you may love the Lord your God, that you may obey his voice, and that you may cling to him. For he is your life and the length of your days, and that you may dwell in the land that the Lord swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give them. So that was the end of Deuteronomy chapter 30. Tomorrow we will go into Deuteronomy chapter 31. Let's see how many chapters are in Deuteronomy. I'm not even sure. Let's find out. Oh, only 34. We're almost at the end of the book of Deuteronomy. Wow. Next will be the book of Joshua. Joshua only has 24 chapters. Maybe one of these days, well, tomorrow we're only going to do one chapter again. And then maybe on Monday, we'll just finish up the book of Deuteronomy. That way we can go into the book of Joshua, because I am excited to get into another book. I do encourage many of you to check out the latest series that I've begun over on the IP2 Wiki Info YouTube channel. It revolves around my re-examination of a woman known as Gia Lovely's efforts into being an advocate for a victim of child abuse and child neglect. And the more that I'm looking into this young woman's work, the more I'm understanding why I felt called to do this page by page reading and commentary of the Bible. It's interesting. So anyway, everyone take care. Have a great night. Um, I'm going to relax a bit tonight, but I also have a lot to do tonight. So I'll talk to all of you tomorrow. Bye-bye.